biofortified readers. I'm Karl Haro von Mogel, and I've got something really important that I want to tell you about. I've been really busy lately, everything from school to work to conferences, but there's been this other thing going on that is now moving really, really fast, and I need to tell you about it now because I want you to hear about it from me before you hear about it from more traditional channels. Let me give you a little bit of backstory. About a year ago, when Anastasia and I were having dinner with Michael Pollan was introduced to Frank, and he thought Frank was kind of a neat guy, and he was wondering if he could have his own Frank. A few seconds later, I was like, yes. So Michael Pollan has his own Frank N Foode. And then the waiter asked where he could buy one. And, you know, this is at Chez Panisse, right? And this guy's asking, where can I buy this genetically engineered corn doll? And we're like, you can't. There is none. Well, one event after another, people kept asking me, whether it was the bio conference or whether it was fellow grad students, they kept asking me, where can they get one that is so cool? And the success of Frank in the past year has been reflected not only in the people who, you know, have been commenting on our photo album, talking about the, you know, the funny pictures of Frank in Chicago, or looking at a fish tank and saying, gee, I wish there were glowfish in here. It's also been reflected in the reactions of people who really do not like genetic engineering. Some of them have been just like aghast at Frank, even to the point of trying to parody our own blog mascot. And that got me to thinking, and this whole thing has been a big undertaking, but I want you to hear about it from me rather than through another channel. And that is, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to be able to actually get your own Frank N Foode doll, because there are thousands of them made already and being put in these nifty little boxes. I just got this yesterday, and the manufacturer and the advertisers are trying to move really fast on this because it's springtime and there's something a little timely involved in this, and so they're putting together commercials and a bunch of other stuff, and I wanted to just give you this little unrehearsed video just to show you a little bit about this before you hear about it through other sources, so you can hear a little bit more about the reasoning and the thought that went into making this. So, Frank N Foode, right? You've all seen him. He's fun, he's cuddly. He's got his glasses and his little corn button nose. And so we're maintaining that image there. And as always, he is your friendly neighborhood genetically modified organism. And he's super sweet. We all know he's super sweet. And so when you look at the package, in contrast to any other doll you might see, it might be drawn a little bit downward to this right here, and it says quite ostentatiously, seeds inside. That's right, this is a toy that includes seeds. And the goal behind this is there aren't very many ways where people can familiarize themselves on a personal level with genetic engineering. It's always talking about the food system, or, you know, percentage of corn and processed foods and things like that, and there's really no way for people to familiarize themselves with it and to encounter it and relate it to themselves personally. Glowfish are a really neat example because you can get these pet fish that glow in the dark and learn about what's going on. You can breed them, you can save them, you all sorts of stuff. And so I was thinking about glowfish when coming up with this idea. And the hardest part was not coming up with the concept. The hardest part was getting all these important things together. And so here on the other side panel, grow your own garden of genetically engineered hybrid sweet corn. That's right. There are going to be genetically engineered sweet corn seeds. There's really only one crop that you could use in this fashion currently. There aren't too many traits in too many different species. And so the only thing that's been available right now is a BT sweet corn made by Syngenta. And so the hardest part was getting their permission to be able to sell this directly to the consumer. They like to deal in large seed lots and have grower agreements and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, we agreed to, you know, we have a little license agreement right here, and, you know, don't really think about that. That's not too important. But people will actually be able to grow these seeds. So then the other thing is I wanted to be able to have genetics really be put in a personal context that kids could actually learn about and understand. And then when it comes to later in life, if they're thinking about what they want to study, maybe some of them might want to go into genetics. That might be a really cool thing. They'd remember doing this. Otherwise, if they don't go into genetics, it will be a little bit more familiar to them. So we have on the back flap, find the mystery mutant, and you'll be a real plant breeder like him. And so let me open this up. We've got a flap on the back to show you a little bit more about what this has got. So obviously it's got one Frank N Foode toy, and it's got one bag of Frank's favorite genetically engineered sweet corn, and a little asterisk and some information down at the bottom to tell people a little bit more about that on the package. There's a lot more information inside in the growing guide, which is what's also included. It also has one bag of mystery mutant corn seeds. Now this was also an interesting endeavor to put together. So I thought it'd be great if we could have some mutant kernels that the students could find, that the kids could find, though they'll be students when they're doing this, that they could find. And so what we did is we made some crosses between some very just common field corn and some kernel mutants, stuff like Shrunken 2, which is the basis of sweet corn, and of many sweet corns out there, I should say, not the basis of sweet corn. And let's see, we got Brittle 2, we've got a couple ones that have to do with coloration in the kernels, and then we also have tassel seed thrown in a mix as a weird mutant to come up for these students, for these kids, sorry. And so what they're going to do is they got instructions they can take brown paper bags from home along with some paper clips, and they can protect the ears of the corn, the silks, from pollination, and with the help of their parents, of course, so get a little bit of adult involvement in this, they can put paper bags over the tassels of the corn plants and then actually do a controlled self-pollination. And then what's going to happen is that these heterozygous mutant plants will then reveal that mutation on the ear, and you'll get a nice 3-to-1 ratio of normal to mutant. And then the kids can examine that, and they can see that this weird trait seemed like it came out of nowhere. And then they might wonder, well, how does that work? And then we've got some fun plant biology lessons and some plant breeding videos that they can refer to, and they can learn what's going on. And then they can keep these seeds, and if they have, because we have 1 of 10 different mutants that they could get in each box, if one of their friends has one of these and has a different mutant, they could even try crossing them. They could play around with that, and over maybe a couple of years, it could be a little summer project that they come back to again and again. And we can also have just seeds that they can buy, in case things didn't grow, or if they want to start over, or they want to try specific mutants. And it could be a way for them to actually learn about this stuff. And that's what I'm really excited about. So they can learn about the science of genetics, find out how genetic engineering works, and taste the delicious results. So let me open this up a little bit. I'm going to leave the Frank doll in here because he's actually twist tied in there, and that would just take too long. And let me pull out the seed packets and show you what we got. So the first one here is you have the mystery mutant corn seeds, and maybe I should open this beforehand just to check to make sure they are the right ones that they sent me. Yeah, there we go. So here you have some pretty normal looking field corn seeds for you maize geneticists out there. Bring this a little closer. And these just look normal, yellow and plump. And I'm not sure what mutation is inside of these in a heterozygous state, but if you were to plant these and grow them out and self-pollinate them, it would be revealed. And then the last one, the second one here, is Frank's favorite sweet corn seeds. Should have checked this beforehand. Ah, there we are. And here they are. Genetically engineered BT sweet corn, courtesy of Syngenta. And they can plant these and grow them and eat them. And that's going to be a really important thing, is bringing this to a personal level. And that's kind of the point of Frank. That's what we've tried to cultivate with this guy, with this character, is that he's really genetic engineering on a personal level. And so this is about, like, really all I have to tell you about. You know, we can talk about this more on the blog, and as these things come out over the next couple of weeks and on, I'm just going to be constantly updating you on what's going on with this. And Toys R Us, for example, has already bought 10,000 units of it, and I don't know when these are going to be on the shelves, but I swear I'm going to go run to the local one, and I hope they're sending them to the local one. And I'm going to take some photos of myself with there, because I'm really excited about this. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about is, you know, though I've got this whole Frank concept, and he's been the blog mascot, though, and there's really a very strong connection between what we've been doing on the blog and this right here. And this is, you know, perhaps just the beginning of things like this. And so what I want to tell you about is that whenever you buy one of these, half of the net profits are going to go to support the blog. I don't know how much that's going to be. You know, that could be, you know, we could sell just a few of these every year and so we'll get a couple extra bucks to pay for web hosting. Or maybe we'll get enough stuff to put together something really big. So, I don't know. So for all of you out there who want to get your own Frank, here he is right here. And be looking for him in stores. I'll be putting together a page to tell everybody how they can get them. And until then, I hope you're all excited as me. And I'll see you on the blog. Thanks.